Alright guys, ZFR back here again today, and we're talking about some more Samurai Jack. And let me just say before I start this video off, it seems like this show just gets better and better every week. Like, they just don't stop impressing us with these episodes. Like, it feels like every episode has been a 10 out of 10, or at least like a 9 or something. So, I mean, like, looking back, the weakest episode I think everybody can argue is probably going to be episode 5, and even that episode was pretty strong in my opinion. But yeah, there just hasn't been a weak episode yet this season in general. So yeah, getting into episode 7 of Samurai Jack season 5. This episode was pretty darn good. It starts off with these little dudes, Jack running into them on a mountain, them following him up the mountain and stuff. And we get the whole, Aku scene with the portal and all that. And just in case anybody's watching this before they watch the episode, just know that I'm not going to go over everything that happened. So if you want to know every little detail, please go watch the episode before you watch this. But yeah, so the scene with Aku and Jack, like, I thought was a good one. It was the first time we really kind of got to see Aku and Jack interact all season, so that was great to get a little sneak peek of that. And man, I know a lot of fans were hurting to see Jack actually jump through that portal, get what looked like at least halfway home, only for Aku to snatch him back up like that. That has gotta hurt. And then destroy the portal. We got to see the destruction of the last time portal, as Aku did say earlier this season. He destroyed all of them in hopes that Jack would grow old and die. But of course we know that's not happening. He's not aging. So yeah, that was just like a pretty harsh scene to see Jack like lose his last chance to get home. Like, just that's the point where he just hit rock bottom and lost all hope and stuff. And we really see him let his anger kind of take hold, and he ends up killing these innocent little goats that he meets after Aku turned them into vicious monsters. And this even haunts him a little bit later, killing these little goats, even when him and Ashi come back to this place later to find their sword. So yeah, speaking of that, the next part of the episode is him and Ashi looking for the sword. Like I said, the little goats are still haunting him, like the memory of what he did to them and stuff like that. And a lot of people are saying different things. They're saying the sword left Jack because the little goats were innocents and he killed innocents with the swords, which could be kind of part of it. I kind of took it more as he went off the path of the samurai. He let his anger and everything consume him in that moment, and that's what really did it for him. But you can really interpret it any way you want. It really might actually just be a mixture of both, to be honest with you. But yeah, anyway, we know he loses the sword, and so pretty much he comes back up and he's like, I don't know how long this is taking. And he goes to meditate. And Aussie's like, alright, I'll wait here for you then. And pretty much we see this awesome scene. Like, this, most of this episode, or at least a good portion of this episode, is Aussie just having this massive battle against this army of, everybody's calling them orcs, I guess, from like Lord of the Rings and stuff. I can't really remember too much what they look like, but oh, I played Sal Mordor. I guess they kind of remind you of them. But yeah, pretty much Aussie battles all these dudes, and oh my god, let me tell you, like, they don't show like dominate. They just don't show complete and utter domination like this on a TV show that used to be for kids every day. Like, I mean, this was a pretty awesome fight. I really did like the fight. I thought they did really well. Aussie's like freaking, you almost forget how powerful Aussie is up until this episode. Like, you all, like, seeing her get beat by Jack and stuff, you kind of start to look at her, oh, she's good, but she's not that good. But then this episode just reminds you, she technically is that good, just not the level where she can beat Jack yet. But Like, yeah, this was just a awesome battle. Like, my favorite part's definitely when she headshotted all the dudes with the spears. Like, that jump was crazy. So, yeah, definitely got like a crazy awesome fight scene in this episode too, actually, because after this, Ashi actually has another big fight scene, and a lot of people were shocked by this, including myself. Like, I did not see this part coming at all. She actually has to face off against her mother, the high priestess. So yeah, a lot of people were kind of thinking that maybe Aussie's going to have to face her mom sooner or later this season, but we didn't think it was going to happen this fast. But then again, there's only 3 episodes left, so I guess now better than ever. So we get to see like them have a huge showdown because she's trying to get the Jack because she realized Aussie has kind of betrayed them. She's left them. She's helping the samurai now, so she's trying to kill Jack herself. Aussie is defending him, and the fight is just it's a good fight. I feel like they did a good job of making the fight be pretty nice, close, and personal, and just epic in a short amount of time because the fight wasn't that long. But yeah, the fight pretty much ends with Aussie getting stuck on a big pile of rubble after her mom drops it on her. Mom's running at Jack. Aussie takes an arrow from earlier that her mom saw there. It just throws it and boom, right through her mom's side, looks like. And her mom actually goes over the edge of the cliff. So a lot of people are thinking the high priestess is not dead. That Aussie's mom is still alive. It's really hard to say. I can see them going either way with that. I personally think she's probably still going to be alive too because there's a little bit more you can do there with the story before you kill her off completely. But at the same time, the story I think can survive and can still just be fine with them leaving it at that. She got hit, the arrow fell over the cliff, died. I think they can just leave it at that and the story will be fine. But like I said, there is a lot more they can do there with between Aussie and her mother later on in the next few episodes and the last few episodes. So I don't know. We'll have to wait and see about that. And then you have Jack going on this crazy spiritual journey, looking for his sword. And I just love this scene so much, or this little animation, set of animations or whatever, where you get to see Jack making his journey. And you get to see him finally face off against, his inner demon, like old Jack. And just before I go at it, let me just say how awesome the little scene with him making the tea and the contrast between that and Aussie's big fight with the army was. But yeah, anyway, you get to see Jack kind of face his inner demon. You get to see him finally stop letting anger, the frustration of failing to get back to the past for all these years, kind of stop to blind him. Like, it's been blinding him all the time, and he says that he finally can see clearly. And pretty much after that, like, he pretty much destroys old Jack. He destroys his inner demon and all that, and he goes right back to the place his dad went so many years ago when his dad had to fight Aku the first time. And he's met face to face by the 3 gods. They do the same little ray beam thing to him that pretty much turns him back into old Jack completely. A lot of people weren't expecting this, including myself. It was really nice to get the old Jack back this episode. I'm sure we all were loving New Jack. New Jack was pretty awesome, I can't lie. I wish we would have got to see a little bit more. I would have loved them to make this season a little longer than 10 episodes. Like, I think, I don't know, 15, 16, maybe even 20 episodes would have been awesome. But I get it, like, they're telling, like, just one last story, one last adventure to end it all off, to kind of just tie it up for the fans that love the show so much. And I really appreciate them doing that. And since, it's a shorter story, it has been presented in a way that you kind of like. It's been presented in a way that is just a little bit better and like it's just come out great. So yeah, anyway, after Jack gets his sword back, we get old Jack back. He turns around, he sees Aussie laying on the ground all beat up. He runs over to check on her. She's fine though, of course. And once again, we get like this little scene between Aussie. This time it's kind of paralleling from last episode where Jack complimented her hair and her new dress after seeing it for the first time, and this time she compliments him on getting his sword back, and she's like, "Oh, you got a save and a haircut and all that." I don't know, like I still personally think that they're going for a romantic relationship between Jack and Aussie. I think it's heading more in that direction. Some people are saying a father and daughter relationship, but I just don't see that. I don't see it. I see them being like, I see where people are trying to say it's kind of like a mentor thing almost, but at the same time I don't, because the big thing here that I feel like people are missing when it comes to that theory is not Jack, Aussie doesn't need Jack to mentor her. She already has been trained. She already knows a lot of things about fighting and all that kind of stuff. Like the only thing Jack can really help her with is like more personal, real life stuff. Like she is on point when it comes to fighting. Especially now that she's seeing everything a little more clearly and everything. She surpassed her mother in this episode, kind of, I guess. I guess you can still argue that. But, yeah, she's not weak. Like, I feel like she's not weak enough to really look at as kind of like a Batman and Robin kind of thing, where Jack's, this super overpowered teacher who's like miles ahead of her. I feel like she's not that far behind Jack in terms of like skill and stuff. Like, as we saw in this episode, she is extremely powerful. So at most, if they don't end up in a romantic relationship, I'm guessing it's going to be a friendship. I just don't see it, turning out to be like a father-daughter thing. I think they're more likely to be just friends first before that. Cause I mean, when you think about it, Jack's not really older than her. Like, you have to think about that too. He technically is and he isn't. He's older than her mentally, but like on the outside physically, Jack is still like 20 something years old. That's how old his body is still. So like, I mean, it's hard when you get into that to really think about how that works and how weird that is and stuff. But yeah, like I mean, you can look at it from either way, and I don't know, it could turn out to be a father-daughter thing, but I really don't think so. Like I'm not seeing it at all. I mean, I am, but I just don't. I think it doesn't make as much sense when you look at what we've seen so far, for it to be more of a father-daughter, mentor-teacher kind of relationship. I think it's either going to be straight-out partners, as in friends, or it's going to be like a romantic thing. But anyway, guys, yeah, this episode of Samurai Jack was pretty awesome. I enjoyed it a lot. I hope all of you guys got a chance to see it and watch it. If you haven't been watching Samurai Jack and you're someone who's checking this out, like, make sure you check this season of Samurai Jack out. Even if you haven't seen the old show, this is really some of the best TV we have gotten in a long time, in my opinion. This is like bringing back the old days of TV when people were still making good TV shows. But anyway, guys, that's all I'm gonna say for this video. I hope everybody enjoyed it. Once again, don't forget to leave likes and comments down below. Tell me what you guys think. I love reading those comments, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Really enjoy this. If you really enjoyed this video, I really want to get us up to 200 subscribers. I want to hit 200 so bad, guys. Like, we've been so close for so long, and I just haven't been pushing for it, so I'm going to start now. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed once again, and I will see you guys on the next video. ZFR out.